So I'm going to show you how to work the half double crochet ribbon and the V-stitch for the Vivienne crochet top. Now, like with anything, it's easy when you know how. So I'm going to demonstrate how to get the best out of your ribbing around the waistline and how to join the V-stitch. So in your copy of the pattern, you'll see what size it is you're making, and you'll also see how many V-stitches you need to make in the instructions. So for demonstration purposes, I will just be doing this on, say, the size of a cuff, just to show you how to do it, and then hopefully you'll be able to implement that when you make the top yourself. So just to recap on the glossary, so the back post half double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook from back to front. Now I know that sounds really complicated, but when I show you how to do it, I promise it'll be a lot easier. I personally couldn't get my head around the back post and front post for a long time because I'd only really seen written descriptions of it, and I just don't think that helps you imagine what it looks like. And then of course you got front post here as well. Now half double crochet is our main stitch in this rib, and it's just a really nice stitch. It's almost all the height of a double crochet, but half the effort. So that's a brilliant one. Double crochet as well is how we make our V-stitch. So I promise once we do this, it will make sense. So you choose whatever size, whatever amount of stitches you need. I will just do a smaller example. Okay, so I've got my sample ready. I've just done a multiple of 2, but you'll know how many to do on yours. Now, a trick I learned is to just turn the chain around, and as you can see, you're looking into the back of the chain. Just see where there's bumps. Okay, so count those bumps. Now, if you work into the back of the chain, it actually produces a neater, straighter row. Now, as our first row is going to be done flat, you might want to work into the back of the chain, but I'll show you that just for just for an example. So 1, 2, so I need to work into the 3rd chain from the hook. Okay, so just going to pull that one through, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through the rest of them. Okay, and then keep working into those back bumps in every chain along. Okay, so you half double, in we go, yarn over, pull through, and keep doing that to the end. Now, worth bearing in mind here as well, you do not have to go into the back. If you want, you can just go into the front of the chain, the V's as normal. That is fine too. It's just about personal preference, and if you're finding that going into the back is a little bit too tricky, then that's fine. It's not going to affect the overall look of the garment. It's not going to affect the fit. It's just, it's just if you want to be a perfectionist about it. So work all the way to the end. Now, the half double crochet, dead easy, yarn over, in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. See, smooth. So obviously this is just an example, so I'm using chunky yarn and a 6mm hook, but obviously your sizing will be different. I would advise as well, like for what you're thinking of for the Vivienne top, although the yarn I've specified says that it's DK, I would personally go for something a little bit heavier, not quite Aran, but definitely a worsted weight, so quite a thick double knit. So this is the point where I'm going to join in the round, so I'm going to make sure that there's no twisting, because that is our worst nightmare. We do not want twisting. So to join, all I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my hook into the chain, which is the first chain I ever did. Okay, so both legs of that V go into the hook, get me yarn and do a slip stitch, just yarn over and pull through all of them. Okay, now don't worry about this gap here, because at the end you're going to be weaving in ends anyway, so just kind of seam that together and no one's going to notice. Okay, now I want you to chain 2, because that counts as the first half double post. Okay, and then yarn over, because we're going to do a back post half double crochet. Okay, so I'll show you how to do it. So I'm holding the piece And then I'm just going to slightly turn it forward so you can see there's the back of the post, there's the front of the post, okay? So to work the back, we slip the crochet hook under that post. So it looks like this from the front. Okay, so we've got the whole post there on the crochet hook. Now at this point, you need to make sure that you've put your yarn around the hook. And this will be tricky at first, I'm not going to lie to you, okay? So pull it through and just do a half double crochet. Now, you'll be wondering what the hell you're doing here and what it looks like and so on, but I urge you to just persevere because you'll soon see. So that was a back post. Now we're going to do a front post, okay? So remember I showed you, that's the back, that's the front. So yarn over, put the hook under the post this time, but at the front. Yarn over, pull through the post, yarn over, pull through all three, okay? So you might be able to see at this point that the one that you did just before is now kind of at the back, and the one that you've just done there is sticking out to the front. So that's how half back post and front post works. It's the same if you do front post and back post for double crochet as well. So we'll do that again. So back post, put the hook under the post facing towards the back, yarn over, pull through all three loops, yarn over again, and let's go through the front now. So the post is over the hook, okay, pull through, there we go, and then the back again. So you see where it's saying on back post you go from front to back and so on. It's so hard to explain in writing, but I'm hoping that this demonstration will help. If it doesn't, please let me know in the comments. Okay, so front post, back post, front post, back post. Now this is a great way to imitate knitted rib on crochet garments, and it just gives things a nice cuff. You'll find this half double crochet stitch on my crochet jewel hat, as well as the Vivienne top. Okay, so front post, back post, front post, back post. Once you get into this, it's actually a really fun stitch because, well, first of all, it doesn't take as long as a crochet rib, knitting rib. So front post, back post, back post. Okay, so we're getting closer to the end now. Okay. So as I said before, you'll find, obviously you've got this gap that you can seam up. So eventually that will just kind of look like this. Now, to start your next round, slip over, okay, to join. Okay. So straight away here. So this will be tidied up when we seam it. We go into a back post, front post. It becomes a lot more intuitive when you get to your second, third, fourth round, because you can see where it's raised and where it's receded. Okay, so you can see you've got a front post, you can see you've got a back post. Just makes a nice, neat cuff. So have a go at that. Now, obviously, I'm not covering the exact pattern instructions because I'm just showing you how to do the stitch. So just make sure you double check the pattern instructions if it wants you to chain 2 at the start or chain 3, or not chain at all. So we go all the way around. Oh, nearly. So. You can feel as well where the posts are. Okay, so you see we've got a nice rib there. Okay, that's what you're aiming for. So that's our half double crochet rib.